I've just come to terms with he is who he is, and I'm more than comfortable with that. As long as he's happy, that's all that matters. And however, he's only 8, so however he ends up being, I'm more than happy. Just as long as he finds a way to make himself happy as well. So one of the things I just wanted to touch on, Teddy, was around like people dressing up. So a lot of people, some people will be listening to you now and go, do you know what, I get it. And you're changing their minds, or you're just enlightening them and they're learning. But some people will think you've got a mental health problem, or they'll think that you're attention seeking, for example. How do you feel about that? Or what do you say in contrast to that?
So the mental health problems kind of stuff, doesn't surprise me. Would surprise me if somebody in England told me that, because in Russia, where rights aren't great and they aren't a very open country, they liken any LGBTQIA person to paedophilia.
Okay.
So their churches and their rabbis and all their religious leaders all sit there and go, you are. They liken it to paedophilia, which obviously is completely wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So first of all, if somebody ever said to me, I have a mental health issue, being gay, being born in the wrong body, being lesbian, being intersex, and all that kind of, everything on the rainbow, is nothing to do with your brain at all. It's everything to do with your DNA. So there are some people that will sit there and say it's a choice. It's not a choice to me. And there's been absolutely no science behind it saying that it is a choice. You choose to do this, you choose to do that. No, it's something that you are born into. And that's why Lady Gaga has a very famous song about it. But, so to me, for anybody that said to me that it was that I have a mental health issue, is just wrong. Because it is just a part of you. It is just, it's just a different chromosome. And also as well, that's very, that's funny. As for attention seeking, I can see where that thought comes from, especially some sort of Z-list celebs that want to sort of make a statement. I can see where that comes from, but I think that also then has to sort of take back. That also then goes back into, no matter what they're wearing or no matter what they're dressing up as, they're going to be an attention seeker anyway. They're just trying to make a bigger splash by by dressing up or or by doing that. And also as well, I would also just say that you have no idea about what journey someone is on. You have absolutely no idea. So, I mean, I'll break it down this way. So recently, I've been to a lot of networking events. In some of those networking events, people have sort of brought out the I'm a key worker card. And they've said that with pride. Some people have said it to just put themselves on top of a pedestal, which is absolutely fine to do, But also in another way, I could equally say that that's attention seeking. And that is also the same as, somebody dressing up or getting dressed up. I think also as well that there's probably a longer conversation about the different types of people who dress up. Some of the words aren't appropriate anymore. And I think a lot of the words used for those kind of people, not for those kind of people, sorry, but for people who dress up just for fun or, that are cross-dressers, I think a lot of those kind of words have been very, that have been used derogatory. Can't say the word now. Derogatory.
Yeah.
Those words are derogatory because of the connotation they have been placed on them. And at the end of the day, you have some, and this is what I always find quite funny. So, that general kind of stereotype that I'm sort of placing on, men of a certain age, they'll love Bowie, they'll love Queen, they'll love Prince. All of those three are massive gender queer icons, because none of them conformed to being masculine men.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think on an attention seeker level, let me just bring this back, sorry. I think the person's going to be an attention seeker anyway. Yeah. So whether they're dressing up or not, that's going to be in their personality, which might not be the most amazing thing. But also as well, I would also say that there's been a lot of like TikTok famous things, and there's been a lot of like sort of not very nice so there's been straight people in America and around the world that have been sort of doing fake gay scenarios just to sort of make fun of it. Now, that to me, I could call that as attention seeking. Yeah. And again, also isn't acceptable because you're making light of a situation that isn't good. So I think that it's full circle, and also, which I just sometimes don't. One of my friends said this to me once, and it was quite, and that for me has sort of let me guide my life. Why do people care? If it's not hurting you, if it's not hurting people, if it's not anything bad, then why do people care? I think it's quite interesting. People get on soapboxes and they have these big opinions, and this isn't acceptable. But actually, what is it doing to harm you? Nothing. Yeah. Absolutely nothing. But yeah, that's sort of my little thing.
No,
for
absolutely
that.
No. I think you've got an absolutely valid point. I find it very interesting actually that the icons, and they are British icons that you've raised there. People, you often hear, and we train mental health training, and we talk about stigma and stigmatizing language. Exactly. and people use stigmatizing language, and actually, some of these people idolize and will follow. We all enjoy Lily Savage. It was absolutely, so funny, another icon, and so funny as well, and someone that many of us have grown up with, whether we're Gen X or Gen Y. And there's so many icons that we look up to and appreciate. And actually, it is interesting that I know what you're saying about some certain generational masculine ideals around the situation. However, they will happily listen to that music and happily idolize those performers. So interesting. Teddi, I'm just going to bring us on to something.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate your time. Please do follow me at Pete Rushmer on LinkedIn, or on Facebook, follow Flagship Training UK, and you can find us on YouTube too at Flagship UK.